All right, guys, we have got a great book today, and I want to get right into it. I'll just remind you real quick that my book of short horror stories called The Things That Happen at Night is available at the link in the description for only $3. Also in the description, join me on social media, sign up for my free newsletter, and read some of my free horror stories over on Wattpad. All right, let's get into it. All right. So the book we're going to be talking about today, if you couldn't tell from the title there, it's called It Rides a Pale Horse by Andy Marino. Now, I've never read Andy Marino before, but if this book is any indication, consider me now a fan. This is, I don't even know how to describe it. I can tell you it's really good. I can tell you it's terrifying. I can tell you it's chilling, and all of that would be true. But to take a book like this and try to define it in certain terms without giving away spoilers is a really difficult task. I don't quite know how to do it, but I'm going to do my best. But please keep in mind that no matter what I say here, the book is going to be much, much better than I can tell you guys. Let's just put it that way. This is a weird, and it is weird in a good way, though, a weird, mind-bending, cosmic horror journey, and he hits those cosmic horror notes perfectly in this one. Elements throughout this book that in any other subgenre of horror probably wouldn't make sense, and you would think the author is just, making stuff up for a word count. But in this one, it's everything, all the weirdness, all the things that happen. And just as one thing gets kind of cleared up, we're introduced to somebody else or another character, and then things get even weirder. And it is just fantastic. And it does flow together. Like, you're not going to be lost when you're reading this or think. I mean, you will think sometimes, oh my God, what the hell is going on here? But your questions will be answered. I would say more than anything that this book, the way it's written and how well it's written, almost demands that you take your time, be patient with it, and absorb it. And what do I mean by that? Well, I read kind of fast. I'm not a speed reader by any means. I don't sit there and, none of that speed reading stuff. But I do read pretty fast, and I'm pretty good at retaining most of what I read. I'm not the only one. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I'm one of those people that do that. But this one absolutely made me take my time. I forced myself to slow down because I was taking it all in. Every sentence, every paragraph, every chapter. Because it's important that you try to wrap your mind around the things that are happening throughout this book and the implications of it all. It's absolutely horrifying. It really is. And the brief synopsis, I guess, would be that there's a brother and a sister. They are both artists. She paints, with the brushes and the paint and stuff, but her paintings have a certain power. She has a certain power that she puts little bits of herself almost into these paintings, and they affect the people that are looking at it. They affect events and people outside of these paintings in their proximity. And she's trying to control that because something tragic happened in the past when she kind of unleashed that power when she was painting a mural. And you read about that. I'm not going to give away anything. Her brother is a sculptor. He has no such powers, but he's a very up-and-coming kind of famous sculptor. And one day his sister gets kidnapped. And again, you have to read to find out, because even that little element is just like the first weird thing that happens, in this book. How she gets kidnapped and why and where she goes. All of that is just fantastic. But she gets kidnapped, and the only way that he is going to get her back alive, according to his kidnappers, is if he takes this old book that has really, it's a mystic kind of book. And he has to take this book, interpret it, and make a sculpture that seems to be impossible to make out of the sections of this book, his interpretation of what he reads in the book. And as he does this, trying to get his sister back, him and his best friend and his art agent all get together, trying to finish his sculpture. He finds out that once these certain sections are done, it starts changing things in that town. It starts changing the world around him. The town starts becoming something it shouldn't. Buildings just kind of melding together, not crumbling, not breaking, but just kind of melding together. Fires in 2D, not 3D, but they almost look like paintings of fire. However, they are burning things, and you can smell the smoke and sense the fire, but they don't seem to be real. They seem to be just a painting of fire. And creatures that are unleashed in this town because of this statue, this sculpture that he is forced to make to save his sister. And they also have the help of a ghost girl, but not really. I mean, the girl is a ghost, and we have sections of the book where we hear from this ghost girl, basically. She is dead, but she's stuck in the compound where his sister is held. She can't do anything. She doesn't have any ghostly ability. She can't rattle anything. She can't break out. The people that kidnapped her are really big into the supernatural, and they have it so that she cannot escape that compound. And she can't haunt them. She can't scare them. She can't do anything like that. But when we hear from her, and her perspective, we get a closer look at who kidnapped this woman, why they did it, and I'm telling you, it just gets weird in the best possible way. I absolutely loved this book. There's so much going on. And like I said, you want to pay attention. You want to take it all in. You want to soak it all up because it just keeps getting better and better. And it's absolutely bone-chilling. He has written some characters that you are going to hate. And I love that. Like the bad guys are really, really bad guys. Another brother and sister. And, you're going to hate them while you're rooting for the other brother and sister, the one that are forced to make these things to bring about their vision of, I won't give it away, but they have a vision, they have a plan for what they want to accomplish through this supernatural sculpture and art. But yeah, I highly recommend this book. I can't recommend it enough. It is fantastic. And I will leave a link down below to Amazon so you can pick up your own copy. It Rides a Pale Horse. Don't let my fumbling review turn you off from it. Trust me, when you start reading it, you'll understand. And as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.